Let us move on into the next track, Power Windows Rush. If you don't mind listening to this next track here, it's going to be Manhattan Project, which I can only imagine is about the Manhattan Project and some research into the atomic bomb and such. Hope that you guys are doing well. Hope you're feeling good, having a fantastic one out there, finding yourself in a good place, in a good mood. Listen, let's dive right into it. I felt like listening to more, and so we're listening to more. Let's do it together, why don't we? Ominous beginning. Yep.
Imagine a time when it all began. In the dying days of a war, a weapon that would settle the score. Whoever found it first would be sure to do their worst. They always had before.
Great line.
Imagine a man where it all
Oh, the bass, man.
A scientist pacing the floor in each nation, always eager to explore. Build the best big stick to turn the winning trick. But this was something more.
There's a little more.
The Big Bang took and shook the world, shut down the rising sun. The end was begun, it hit everyone when the chain reaction was done. The big shots try to hold it back, fools try to wish it away. The hope will depend on a world without end, whatever the hopeless may say. Imagine a place where it all began, gathered from across the land to work in the secrecy of the desert sand. All the brightest boys to play with the biggest toys, more than they bargained for. The Big Bang took and shook the world, shut down the rising sun. The hope will depend on a world without end, whatever the hopeless may say. Imagine a man
I love this chorus.
when it all began, the pilot of Enola Gay, flying out of the shockwave on that August day. All the power that be and the course of history would be changed forevermore.
Some strings in here too. brought it back to this melody. Alex can just go. I really like how this track ended and began with the marching snare pattern and then the strong throng of the bass there from Geddy. I like that because, in my opinion, the marching drums act as a march to war, and the throng kind of represents the bomb and the bomb being dropped there. That's just my interpretation there. Oh, okay. The verse in this track and the movements of it is phenomenal. If there's one thing Rush has mastered at this particular point, and they've mastered it throughout their career, but on this song and perhaps the album as well, I can apply this to their melodies. That melody of the verse, the bum, 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 with the bass and then the synths underneath that, a little bit of guitar from Alex, it is, to me, a perfect melody, and I just love the sound of it.
There was
This.
we always had before.
That is just I know this is 85, but like it's right in that line up into that 90s kind of R&B sound as well. And so I like how they're kind of moving, at least in a sense, melodically towards that. It works so well in this track. Now, with a track with such a heavy theme, they still build tension as the track goes on. I mean, as you just heard, they kind of drop that bass line and then kind of hold for a little bit, adding static, right? They're building tension in their own way. The little bit of industrial sounds from the guitar, then it moves back into the melodic. And then it explodes into the chorus there with Geddy sounding really fantastic. The drums just now getting to release the wings a little bit and kind of fly a little more free. And like, this is a restrained song, but a tight song. I love when you have a band like Rush, Genesis, yes, bands that are of a progressive nature that have all the skills in the world, all the palettes with which to color, but they tone it down a little bit in some regard. They restrain themselves because sometimes it's through restraint that you can actually induce more creativity. You know, sometimes if you have the freedom to do whatever you want and you just do it, you know, sometimes the unrestrained kind of leads to messy results. But when you add some barriers or something that you have to push through and struggle through, sometimes it can actually make the music or whatever art form you choose more concentrated, more focused in a particular direction. And here, there's not a track on this album looking at it that's past 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So duration is, cut down. The music is slimmed up a little bit, but they're not losing who they are. And I think that in a track like this, with such a deep focus on melody and the message, it just comes through really, really nicely. And at the end, Alex gets a nice solo here to carry us off in an emotional way. Sounds great. Duh. and even Pure gets to get down a little bit. So they build up to that. But you see what I mean? Like they're holding it back, but because they can go off if they want to, but they just sit here and make a good song. Just play the music. Can I get to that verse again? I love the orchestra. I want to hear the verse. That, man.
A scientist pacing the floor in each nation.
That's music to my ears. And that orchestration comes in, arranged from Ann Dudley and then conducted by Andrew Jackman. Dudley, we've heard in The Art of Noise, if her name doesn't sound familiar, but it does to me. Let's look at the lyrics here on this particular track. Imagine a time when it all began. In the dying days of a war, a weapon that would settle the score. Whoever found it first would be sure to do their worst. They always had before. History repeats itself. Imagine a man where it all began, a scientist pacing the floor. Some call him Oppenheimer. In each nation, always eager to explore. To build the best big stick, to turn the winning trick. But this was something more. Always trying to build a bigger stick to beat the other person down. But this was different. The Big Bang took and shook the world, shot down the rising sun, of course, Japan. The end was begun. It would hit everyone. When the chain reaction was done, the big shots tried to hold it back. Fools try to wish it away. The hopeful depend on a world without end, whatever the hopeless may say. It's a really nice line and a nice way to end this particular part. Imagine a place where it all began. They gathered from across the land to work in the secrecy of the desert sand, all of the brightest boys to play with the biggest toys, more that they bargained for. Imagine a man when it all began, the pilot of Enola Gay, flying out of the shockwave on that August day. All the powers that be and the course of history would be changed forevermore. Really great lyrics there. Let's see. Lyricist Neil Peart read a pile of books about the Manhattan Project before writing the lyrics so that he had a better understanding of the topic. Dudley was responsible for the string arrangements. Some of the fretless bass sounds were played by Andy Richards on a synth. During live renditions of the song, however, Lee covered these parts using a sampler. It received 51 ads to album-oriented rock radio station playlists in the U.S. during 1985, becoming the fifth most added song in that format to the radio and records. 1 month later, 63% of album-oriented radio stations had included the song in their playlist, and it hit number 10 on the U.S. mainstream rock chart in '86. Worthy. No doubt about that. Let me know what you guys thought of it, of course, in the comments down below. I appreciate you all joining me here and stopping by for at least a few minutes of your day. Come back tomorrow. Hope to see you then, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.